One gets a captcha wall, the other walks right in. The only thing that changes is the type of proxy, and almost nobody explains that part properly before they sell you one. So this is the honest version. Residential versus mobile. When each one wins, when it is a waste of money, and which one actually survives on the sites that block the hardest. I run the hardware these IPs come from. Real phones on real SIM cards, so I will give you the trade-offs the sales pages skip. Let me give you the answer first and explain it, because you came here to decide, not to be teased. There are three kinds of proxy you will be sold. Data center proxies come from servers in a rack. They are fast, they are cheap, and they get blocked the fastest. Residential proxies come from real home internet connections. They are trusted more and they cost more. Mobile proxies, which means 4G or 5G, come from real phones on real carrier SIMs. They are the most trusted, the slowest, and the most expensive. That is the whole map. Short version. If a site barely blocks, data center is fine and you are overpaying for anything fancier. If a site blocks hard, Instagram, sneaker sites, ticketing ad platforms, you want mobile. Residential sits in the middle, and the middle is exactly where people get confused and waste money. So let me pull the two apart. Start with residential. Your traffic goes out through someone's real home connection, a real internet provider, a real street address. Sites trust it because it looks like a person sitting at home. Here is the catch you are almost never told. A lot of residential pools are built from apps and browser extensions that quietly borrow ordinary people's bandwidth. So the IP you get might be shared, recycled, or already burned by someone else before it ever reached you. You do not control who used it last, and you inherit their reputation. Now mobile. Your traffic goes out through a real phone, on a real SIM, on a carrier like Singtel, M1, or StarHub. Two things make this strong. One, it is a phone carrier IP, the single most trusted type, because that is where the largest share of genuine human traffic on the internet actually comes from. Two, carriers put thousands of real customers behind each IP using something called carrier-grade NAT. So you are hidden in a crowd of real people by default, instead of standing there alone. And here is the move you only get with mobile. You can rotate the IP on demand. The carrier hands you a fresh address, and the old one drops straight back into that giant pool of real subscribers. A clean new IP that was never really yours to begin with. Residential cannot do that cleanly because you do not own the relationship with the network the way a SIM does. Enough theory, let me run both against a site that is known to block. Residential first. The IP checks out as a real provider, good so far. I load the target, sometimes it comes through, sometimes I get a soft block or a captcha. Why so inconsistent? Because I do not know this IP's history. If someone hammered this same address an hour ago, that is my problem now. Watch, second residential IP, same provider, and this one throws a captcha immediately. That unpredictability is the real cost of residential, not the price on the page. Now mobile, the IP lookup says Singtel, a real carrier. I hit the same site, clean load. I rotate to a fresh carrier IP and hit it again, clean again. The consistency is the entire point. I am not gambling on a stranger's history. I am pulling a fresh slice of a carrier's real user pool every single time. Now the part the mobile sellers gloss over. Mobile is slower and it costs more. That is true, and I am not going to pretend otherwise. A data center proxy might give you 100 megabits for cents per gig. A mobile proxy runs at real phone speeds and costs more per gig because there is a physical SIM, a physical phone, and a monthly carrier bill sitting behind it. Real hardware costs real money. So when someone sells you mobile proxies for the price of data center, they are not mobile, whatever the label says. So the question is never which is better in the abstract. It is, what is the job? If you are pulling huge volumes of public data where blocking is light, pay for speed, go data center or residential. If your job is logging into accounts, copying limited drops, or verifying ads, anything where a single block costs you real money, the trust is worth more than the speed. That is when mobile pays for itself. Here is how I would actually choose. Pick based on the target. Instagram, TikTok, sneaker sites, ticketing, ad verification, anything with aggressive bot detection, go mobile. You need the highest trust and the clean rotation. General scraping. Price monitoring on softer sites. Big jobs where the target barely cares who you are. Residential is usually enough and cheaper at volume. Bulk public data and open APIs. Data center, do not overpay. And geography matters more than people think. If you specifically need to look like you are in a country, say you are verifying Singapore ads or testing how a site behaves for a local user, you want a real mobile IP from that country, not a residential IP that merely claims to be there. A real carrier IP in the right place is the thing that actually passes. So, recap. Residential is a real home IP with an unknown history, mid-trust, mid-price. Mobile is a real carrier IP you can rotate clean on demand, highest trust, higher price, slower, picked by the job, not the hype. Block heavy target, go mobile. Light target at volume. Residential or data center is the smarter money. The mobile proxies in this video are real Singapore SIMs from my own farm, Singtel, M1, StarHub, the same carriers you saw in the lookups. There is a free trial if you want to run this exact test yourself. Link in the description and a code in the pinned comment. Try it on your own target and watch the difference. If the honest version helped, subscribe. Next one. The Singapore proxy use cases nobody talks about. Scraping local only sites the global providers cannot touch. See you there.